I'm delighted with this year's results. Key highlights for me include the fact that for the second year in a row, we've got more than $1 billion in free cash flow generated out of our core assets. That our free cash flow break even is down to only $29 per BOE equivalent, which is an incredible performance compared to just a few years ago. And that's before the impact of hedging, after which it will be even lower. In addition to that, a 7% increase in a reported NPAT, and again, very strong safety performance across all of our operations. So I'm delighted with that set of results, and it just bodes well for our future. Well, look, I think what you've seen over the last few years is that disciplined operating model really kicking in and starting to work across all of our core assets. All of them now are free cash flow break even, well below the $40 threshold that we set in our model. And that means that each of them now are contributing very significantly to the generation of our strong cash flows. And in fact, all have very strong EBITDAX margins across those assets. But very importantly, by lowering the unit cost of production, we're able to generate more and more growth opportunities across all of the assets. So I think what you're starting to see now is those assets generate really exciting opportunities, like the Van Gogh opportunity in Western Australia. We've obviously got Dorado, we've got Barossa in Northern Australia. There's still many opportunities in PNG, and even in the Cooper Basin, we're now starting to unearth really significant and very exciting new growth opportunities. Well, look, if I just go around the assets, let's talk about the Cooper Basin. We're seeing continued, steady, self-funded production growth across the Cooper Basin. But in addition to that, prospects like Moomba South, very exciting, where we got a very significant reserves booking this year, and we'll continue to appraise that throughout the next year. We're going to drill horizontal wells this year to test other plays in the Cooper Basin, including deep coal prospects across the Cooper. So that's very exciting. Surface projects like electrification of compression, which will not only free up gas, but it's gas with no decline curve, because obviously we're using electric drive compressors instead of fuel gas to drive those compressors. So a lot of excitement in the Cooper. In Queensland, we continue to go from strength to strength in our GLNG operations, and of course onshore in the Northern Territory, Northern Queensland's very exciting exploration plays like the MacArthur Basin, and of course the South Nicholson Basin, which we just announced acquisition of earlier in 2019. PNG will continue to progress the Train 3 expansion, and of course in Darwin we announced the ConocoPhillips acquisition, which will not only give us a bigger stake in the existing Bayu-Undan project, but obviously position us very strongly to take forward the exciting Barossa project, which we hope to FID in a few months' time. And then in Western Australia, we've got the exciting Dorado oil and liquids development, which we hope to take FEED in Q2 this year, with an FID sometime in 2021. So I think the exciting thing is all of our assets have very exciting growth opportunities, and that's exciting for all of our employees going forward. This is the third climate report that we've issued now, and I think you see them getting more comprehensive and better as we go forward. Look, the company is very focused on reducing emissions. We see gas as a very significant part of the transition to a lower carbon world in the future, and that's over the next 2 or 3 decades. We've stated a long-term aspiration to be carbon neutral by 2050, and we'll continue to strive towards some of the shorter-term targets that we state in that report. And the report gives detail on our progress against those targets. On CCS, it's one of our longer-term ambitions is to use the Cooper Basin for carbon capture and sequestration, and we're making a lot of progress in that area, having taken FEED on our CCS project at the end of 2019. And that's something that really excites us, because the Cooper Basin has the potential to take around 20 million tonnes per annum of CO2 and re-inject it into those deep reservoirs where the gas has been stored for 80 million years. And since producing that gas, we've then depleted those reservoirs, and we can now use them for storage for the longer term. So that's a very exciting one, and we're very proud of our climate change report.